Welcome to Advanced Forging. This is the show where we use Urz's artificial intelligence and all the advanced options to try to make some AI-generated magic cards for the purposes of universes beyond. Little, limited run, small packages of cards, not full sets, based in a different universe. And today, we're starting it off with Splatoon-iverse Beyond, which I am needlessly pleased with myself about. I'm DarcyBits, and let's get this thing started right away. Today we will be using the deck builder for the purposes of our advanced forging. Super not necessary, but this gives us one extra field that we can utilize. So let's show the JSON, and we are going to use this specific formula that I prepared earlier. That is square brackets, and then boom. This is our card sort of shape. The shape of a card, if you will. So, first Splatoon-iverse Beyond. I want to make a number of cards. We are going to be putting in names, we're going to be putting in mana cost, we're going to be putting in types, subtypes, and the deck name Splatoon-iverse Beyond. I probably should just have it be the deck name Splatoon, but I just think it's endlessly funny. So it's Splatoon-iverse Beyond is what we're using for our deck name, and this will make us a nice little card. Now, my example here was the Reflux Hot Chop. We're not going to start with that, though. We're going to start with some iconic characters from Splatoon 3 as legendary creatures. So let's start with Shiver. Shiver, the legendary creature. Now, I thought a long time about what Inklings and Octolings should be typed as far as magic goes. You could make a new type for Inklings and Octolings. You could make them both count as cephalids, which would be interesting. But I think the best thing to do is just to make them squids and octopus, respectively. In Magic, a animal that is a humanoid is still usually just that animal. Like, a cat warrior is just a cat person. It's not a literal cat, right? They don't make them like cat humans or make Leonin its own type. So there's precedent for this. That said, it is worth pointing out that cephalids do exist and they're not just squid people. And also, illithids in Forgotten Realms have been coded as horrors. Now, that's because they have, like, psychic abilities and stuff, but still, it's worth pointing out that there are some exceptions to these rules. Either way, I'm going to go with squids and octopus, respectively. Those are both actual types. Squid is a type, octopus is a type, even Kraken is a type. I don't know why it's so diverse. That's just the way that Magic has it set up, so here's what we have. But that's good for us because it means that we can have two creature types that are not the same, squids and octopus, but still tie into existing Magic typing. Not that there's a lot of synergies for squids and octopus, but still, it's nice that we don't have to invent a new type and have absolutely no reverse synergy. So that is fun. Or tie into like a future set. Again, this is a theoretical universes beyond where you might use them in eternal legal formats, even though obviously these cards are not legal. I'm making them with Urz's AI. So, first thing I want to do is, legitimately, I want to make sure that I'm not accidentally calling somebody a squid when they're an octopus. So I'm just going to Google and make sure that I've got the correct description. So, Shiver is an octoling. I legit didn't know that. I thought they were a squid. Okay, cool. So let's start with Shiver. They're going to be a octopus. And what is Shiver defined by, right? Shiver, I think, being a legendary creature, we got to give them that legendary formatting for their name. So I'm thinking Shiver, like some kind of shark wrangler kind of thing, maybe. Could even be shark rider. That's a little bit simple. I think I want something more grandiose than that. So how about Shiver? The thing is, like, they also, like, Deep Cut is in there. They're, like, a show host, Splatcast. Shiver Splatcast Shark Rider is a mouthful, but kind of a good name. But probably not what we're going for here. Let's ignore the actual name for now and go look at that subtypes again. What are they? Right? I don't know what their weapon of choice is in the actual game. I think, as far as I know, they have a shark friend. I haven't played Splatoon 3, I should say. But I don't know if they're ever, like, depicted as using a specific weapon. I guess I could check. Nothing that stands out as far as I can tell here. But again, I want to dig into, if you said, here is a character who is like a show host, right? Like, when I think of Shiver and Frye and Big Man, I don't think of them as idols in that they're like musicians. Obviously, there is like a song that they sing on, but like, I don't think of them as musicians first, in the same way that I do for Splatoon 1 and Splatoon 2. I think of them as, like, people who host this show. Now, maybe I'm wrong about that. Maybe they are, like, very strongly depicted as being show hosts. I don't know. The wiki here, Inkopedia, is saying that they're a member of the band Deep Cut. Is Deep Cut supposed to be depicted as a band? And I guess a more important thing is, she's a performer. We can agree on that. Is performer a real type? And I say that because I believe, as of recording this, Unfinity just came out and it added the type performer. It has no precedent prior to Unfinity, and generally speaking, an Unfinity exclusive or an unset exclusive type isn't really considered real. If I wanted some performers, I would probably go with Bard in the real world, which I think is a little bit limiting. Like, Bard has such a specific flavor to it. Probably a good reference point that we could use would actually be Neon Dynasty. Neon Dynasty has some performers that aren't bards, I think. So let's actually take a look at that, for example. So let's actually bring them up so that we can all see what I'm talking about. I'm going to use Neon Dynasty. Is that just Neo? Is Neon Dynasty Neo? Yeah, it is. Okay. This has some actual performers I know. I can't think of specific names right now, but I know there's like a disc jockey at very least that it's in red. I don't know. Did they ever do like just a full-on idol in this set? I don't remember that happening. I feel like they didn't, which would have been cool to have like a full-on just like, you know, pop star. That would have been really cool. Either way, I know that Red has that one DJ. I want to see what they're depicted as. Obviously, Shiver and Deep Cut are not like DJs in the way that like Marina is, but like, you know. All of this is getting cut anyway. Here we are. Song Shaper is a human artificer. That doesn't feel correct. I hate that. What? You're an artificer? How are you an artificer? DJs are artificers. Here we have it. Okay. Alright, so I just came back from Skyfall trying to find what the most appropriate typing is. And unfortunately, can't find a lot of precedent for what Shiver really is. I don't think Shiver lands as a bard, personally. So I'm going to not include that. I'd love to use performer from Unfinity, but I don't think that's appropriate because it's an unset sort of exclusive type for now. Maybe it won't be later. Legitimately, I'm really hoping we're going to see Clown show up in some cards. In fact, there's a Clown that exists already that is not a Clown because it's not a type. I would love to see that get errata. That would be so cool. Anyway, not important. Point is, I don't know what Shiver counts as. When I think of Shiver first, I think of her as a performer for a news show, I guess? But also, she's got, of course, this whole, like, shark thing. You could make the shark thing kind of a druid thing, but I don't think that's super appropriate. Oh, maybe she's a rogue, actually. Octopus rogue. There we go. That's what we want to see. Shiver. I need to give... So something like, B, you gotta help me out. What is the like, subtitle? What is the, like, you know... What would Shiver's extended legendary name be? Sharkmaster's pretty good. Shiver Sharkmaster. I'm pretty into that. That's pretty good. Hey, it's Mocha. Hey, Mocha. Alright. I can see Shiver Sharkmaster. It's a little bit, like, simple, but I think that's okay. Let's do that. Shiver Sharkmaster. And what mana cost? How big of a creature is Shiver? This is great. Oh, this is great having you here. Now we've got a real show on our hands. A 3-drop? This is just what I had previously, but sure, why not a 3-drop? Okay. I did want to make Shiver black and blue. I don't know if she should be or not, but I like the idea of her being black-blue. I did make her a rogue. I feel like it's appropriate. So, I could do 1 black-blue, or I could do, like, 2 black-blue? I don't know. Woob. Yeah. So let's definitely put the black in here. The question is 3 or 4. I'm gonna go with 4. I just think that's more interesting. Nah, we'll stick with 1. We'll stick with 1. We'll stick with 1. Alright. We have to update. You know what I actually need? I need an extra just like dummy card so that it reads better. That's so silly, but I do actually. Okay. Now it centers better. There we go. So we've got our Shiver Sharkmaster, a 3 mana, that's 1 generic, 1 blue, 1 black, legendary creature, octopus rogue. And this is the first attempt by the AI. We are seeing 3 mana 3/2. As Shiver Sharkmaster enters the battlefield, you may reveal the top card of your library. If you do, Shiver enters the battlefield tapped and attacking. That's an actually super weird and interesting effect. Like, it's not haste, which is relevant because they have tap, add 1 black mana. I kind of love this. And like, as much as it doesn't seem like a cost to reveal the top card of your library, you're giving information to your opponent. I kind of love this. I don't have any notes. I actually really like this effect. Now, is it like Shiver? Is this Shiver? I think it kind of is, weirdly. I don't know why like revealing information to your opponent is part of it. Maybe it's because, you know, she's kind of dramatic, right? She shows up and is like, we're deep cut. What up, you know? Like the idea of like, okay, so B is mentioned in chat, but you can't be attacking in a main phase. Right, so if this had flash, that would be relevant. It would work if it had flash, but since it doesn't have flash, it doesn't function. Dang it, you're actually completely correct. If we were editing these cards, I would throw flash on that in a heartbeat and be like, what a beautiful card that is. That's so good. Ah, yeah. It can't be, like, tapped and, like, committed to a future attack. That's not a thing. Ah, yeah, that is a shame. It's a very cool effect, though, and I think it's actually weirdly appropriate to the character. You know, she's gonna show up, she's gonna tell you something that's happening next turn, you know, what you're gonna draw next turn. She announces to the opponent. And what does she actually do most of the time? Most of the time, she just makes you some mana. She's just gonna help you do your game plan. She's not fighting, she's helping you fight. That's what Shiver does. But, hey, she also might show up and, like, shark slide into your face, right? Like, I actually love the design of this card. Except, as B points out in chat, it should have flash to function properly. Alright, so I am going to save that. Maybe it's something I'll use to inspire a future design. I've been talking a lot outside of stream about the idea of possibly doing some custom work inspired by AI as opposed to just completely doing AI stuff, which would be fun because I am a creative person and I love actually doing Like, I do art, I do design. The idea of being able to share that through the lens of, like, being inspired by AI sounds like a really fun time. So, something I might do in the future. And this card, again, just that one tweak, and it's really interesting. Should it be a 3-2? Should it be 3 cost? I have no idea, but the design is really interesting, and I think that the AI did a really good job. So, I do want to see a few more cards of what Shiver could look like, and then we'll move on to Frye. Shiver Sharkmaster. Again, 3 mana, generic blue-black. Legendary creature, Octopus Rogue, is a 3-3 and has hexproof. Okay. Whenever Shiver Sharkmaster deals combat damage to a player, draw a card. A boring effect that's perfectly reasonable. It's just bland. It's not bad, it's just bland. Don't have any interest in this card. We're gonna re-roll that one. Do a couple of rolls. See what we come up with. Shiver Sharkmaster, 3 mana Octopus Rogue. Again has hexproof, interesting. Is a 3-2. And for 3 mana, Shiver Sharkmaster can't be blocked this turn. Okay. What is this picture? That's great. I like this picture. I want to draw fan art of this picture. This picture is awesome. Right. It was like, the AI said, you want me to draw an octopus who's also a shark, right? That's what you wanted? And, like, I mean, they're not wrong, I guess. Did I remember to put... Yeah, Splatoon. Splatoon is in the deck name. That's... I think that's fun. Again, not a super interesting design, but, like, you know, it's good. It's hexproof. It's unblockable. A lot of interesting things going on in this design. I'm just gonna do one more. One more that I like, I guess I should say. I might roll it a few times, but... Oh! What? Wait! What? Shiver Sharkmaster is a 3 mana Octopus Rogue that has Partner with Pearl with an exclamation mark. That's wild. Also, like, wrong game, but interesting that they gave her a partner mechanic. Also weird that they gave an exclamation mark, but okay. Whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell, put a +1/+1 counter on Shiver Sharkmaster. Whenever you attack, put a 1/1 counter on Shiver Sharkmaster. And the target creature can't block this turn. That is super aggressive. Holy crap, is that aggressive. But, like... That's so funny to me. I wasn't planning on even making a pearl. Wait, it says a pearl. That's not even correct. It would be partner with pearl, not partner with a pearl. Wait, is that correct? I think so. Now I'm not sure. The partner with mechanic, you might know the partner mechanic. You might not know the partner with mechanic. And partner with usually is on, I think is, you know, not exclusively, but sometimes it's on non-legendaries, right? Does it say ah? And the answer is no. It does not say ah. It says partner with card name. So, yeah, the formatting is actually incorrect on this specific one, unfortunately. Super weird. Super weird. It's a very pushed card. Like, it's just like getting counters all the time. Pretty fun. Not what I was going for, but pretty fun. Alright, let's move on to Frye. First things first. Frye is an Inkling, right? Like, yes, good. That would be... I would be very confused if it turned out Frye was not an Inkling. Okay. So that's good. This means that Frye is going to be a squid. And same question I had with Shiver. What is the subtype of Frye? And I think just having them also be a rogue seemed perfectly reasonable. I have no problems with that. As far as like the identity, of rogues go, Are there rogues that are not black? I don't actually know. Rogue, color, black. So there's some blue rogues, cool, which I knew about that. But they're all okay. There's like green rogues, there's red rogues. Okay, yeah, there's precedent. Because I was thinking that Frye would be green, red. More importantly, red. But I feel like they're that mixing type, which is fun. And yeah, there's precedent with red. There's precedent with green. Very interesting. So let's see. B in the chat is suggesting Frye Eel Dancer, which I think is a very cool and appropriate name. So that's fun. Legendary creature, squid, rogue. We make sure we have to remove the card ID. We don't actually have to remove that. We'll just overwrite it next time, but that's the same. And I'm thinking red, green, so let's do that. And the question is, do we just also make it a 1 RG? Again, at this point in the development, I don't have a reason for it to be bigger or smaller. Maybe we'll make Big Man bigger, but we'll keep both Frye and Shiver the same size. How about that? That seems appropriate. Update that. Let's see what we have. Did I forget anything in the making of this card? I'm not sure. Possibly. Frye Eel Dancer is generic, red, green. For a squid rogue, they're a 2/2 with other creatures you control get +1/+1. Okay, yeah, they're not going to do the fighting. They're going to buff up their eels. Cool. Also, for red and a green and tap, you destroy target artifact or enchantment. I have no idea if that makes any flavor sense, but it's interesting. I don't have a problem with this card. Nothing super evocative of this design so far. It's just like, yeah, it's a good card. Okay, that could have been anything though, right? Anybody could have had this effect. I'm not enamored by this. Let us move on. Then again, I just realized something I've been forgetting to do. I think that I didn't think to read the flavor text. So, eel juice, carrots, beetroots. A recipe for everything from goo to the sun. I don't know what that means, but there we have it. Let's get a second take on Frye Eel Dancer. Frye Eel Dancer is a 3-mana squid rogue. They're a 2/2. Frye Eel Dancer has lifelink as long as you control a swamp. That's weird, but I do like the idea of some kind of like, if you're running both Frye and Shiver, right? Like if you're running black as well, because Shiver is black, then there's like a reason to be playing both those colors. That's kind of interesting, but that's like kind of the weirdest way of doing it. That said, I think that's actually kind of a cool way of doing it. I could see more real Magic sets using this mechanic where they're like, I want you to be playing other colors, but I don't care if you're controlling a permanent of that color or if you have this specific creature, because that's too narrow, right? It's too difficult to actually pull off, so it's not worth the effort. But having a swamp, like, yeah, if you're playing black, you probably are going to have a swamp. I think that's kind of interesting. For a green and a red and tap, target creature gains lifelink until end of turn. Okay, so yeah, they have lifelink and they give other people lifelink. That's interesting. Not super exciting. I'm not even going to bother to save that one. But it is interesting. Just not super exciting. Frye Eel Dancer, Squid Rogue. 3/2. When Frye Eel Dancer enters the battlefield, it explores. That is weird. Why? Reveal the top card of your library. Put that card into your hand if it's a land. Otherwise, put a 1/1 counter on Frye Eel Dancer. Or create a 1/1 red elemental creature token. Wait a minute. I don't remember that last part. Wait a minute. Is that how Explore works? Wait a minute. I wasn't super interested in this until it was like, hey, you can make yourself an eel token. It's not actually an eel token, it's just a 1/1 red elemental, but like, it's an eel token, right? It's an eel elemental. That's actually kind of cool. Alright. This also kind of looks like Frye. Like, it's not good, but, like, with the limited information the AI has to draw a picture, it's not bad. Frye, Eel Dancer, is a 3-mana squid rogue. They're a 2/2 with Swamp Walk. Okay. For 2 mana, a red and a green, Frye, Eel Dancer deals 2 damage to target creature or planeswalker. That's, like, probably an appropriate effect. I can see Frye having just, like, a ping effect like that, but it's not very interesting. It's just like, okay. Yeah, this card's fine. It's just like, She sows trouble so she can reap the harvest. Yeah, it's not bad. That's appropriate. There we go. Let's roll that again, though. I'm gonna save that one. I don't know what I'm gonna do with any of these cards even at the end anyway. I'm just like rolling them to see what I get. 3 mana 2/2 Squid Rogue. Frye Eel Dancer. Whenever Frye Eel Dancer attacks, return a swamp or mountain card from your graveyard to your hand. This, it really wants me to make something about swamps. I wonder why that is. That's super weird and interesting. Huh. Let's ignore the whole swamp thing. Is this a mechanic that feels like Frye? Like returning a land, not to even to your battlefield, to your hand. It's just like draw a land, you know, have one ready so to smooth out your plays, so you make sure you don't miss your land drops. Like, I don't know. Look at those muscles. Is that even legal? I thought that kind of fat was outlawed. Felicia Frye, military instructor. Frye Eel Dancer is a 3-mana squid rogue. Squid creatures you control have hexproof. Now that's an interesting effect. Okay. For 3 mana, the same cost as Frye, target creature gains hexproof until end of turn. Okay, so does this feel like a Frye effect? Actually a really cool card, right? 3 mana 2/3 with hexproof that gives any other squids hexproof, so squids matter. That's fun. And if you don't have, you know, a squid, if you need to support something that's not a squid, like, I don't know, an octopus, you could spend 3 to give something hexproof, which is very powerful because you can instant speed respond to your opponent, like, casting a spell, right? And be like, nope, that doesn't count anymore. It fizzles on the stack, which, again, I don't think I've ever talked about this on stream. I think that's stupid because you've already targeted them. It doesn't matter if they gain hexproof. They've already, that's stupid. Anyway, this is not a venue for my dumb opinions. Never mind. Moving on. Yeah, I don't know if this feels like Frye, but I mean, I could see Frye as being someone who protects her friends. I think this is more of a, like, I think this is more of a big man, actually. Big man feels like someone who's there to protect their friends, you know? But, that's okay. I think I'm going to do one more on Frye, and then we're going to move on to big man. Frye Eel Dancer has flying. That's actually kind of appropriate. We can see them, like, flying on an eel or something. That'd be cool. Whenever Frye Eel Dancer deals combat damage to a player, create a treasure token. I could see that. This is quite okay. I quite like this. It's weirdly enough one of the, like, less interesting cards from a design standpoint, but, like, it flies, it makes treasures, you know, it feels kind of like Frye. The what's the flavor text though? His latest theft of prized salted eels landed him in prison, but it was nothing compared to the years of serving time to escape the salt mines. I don't know who that's talking about. Clearly not Frye. That's pretty cool. That's a pretty cool card. All right, let's move on to big man. What is big man's subtitle and type line? Because I don't even know if big man is a rogue. I have yet to be convinced of this. But also, there is no, like, manta ray typing in Magic. Is there any, like... I don't think there's even any oh, there are manta rays! There are manta rays. There's precedent and they're fish. That's so dumb. No, you can't. You gotta be kidding me. Really? There's precedent and they're fish? Oh, I hate that. What? Magic the Gathering is a game that has starfish, jellyfish, and sharks as their own creature types, but a manta ray is a fish? What? 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 This one's a beast. Plax Manta is a beast. I can't believe it's a fish. I can't believe it. I can't. What about this one? Wormfang Manta. Nightmare Fish Beast. Okay, let's see if we can give them a secondary typing, because I don't think they should just be fish. I don't like that. I will give them fish as a typing, but they need something else. They need another typing, like... I don't know what. I can't believe they're a fish. I mean, the benefit of them being a fish is that they have better, like, you know, creature type synergies, right? Like, you actually could have something that cares about fish. You're never gonna see a card that cares about mantas, but still, they're a fish! Okay. Now, I could give them rogue just to be consistent. That's not a terrible idea. I might do that. It sounds kind of boring. It sounds kind of boring. I'm thinking maybe 3 and a white, maybe 4 and a white. I think 5. I see them as a 5 drop, personally. I don't think they're a rogue. I do not think that they're a rogue. They are, obviously, they're like with everyone else. They're not like they're doing their own thing, but like, is that how you would define Big Man? You look at Big Man and you go, Big Man, you're a rogue. I don't know. I want to put Manta in here. I think that's like kind of weak, but I think it's pretty, like, it's just, I need that word in the name somewhere. I almost want to say fun-loving, which, like, I know that's just, like, the current Splatfest cares about fun, and that's not, like, a general thing. That's like if I was saying scissors-loving, like, that would be very stupid, but, like, I do feel like the fun of Big Man is such a big part of his design. Like, I want to say fun-loving Manta. Is that weird? Is that okay? Can I do that? I think I can. I don't know what their subtype is, though. Like, the B suggests is just fish. Big Man, fun-loving Manta, fish. Fish. We'll give it a shot. We'll give it a shot. We'll see what we can do with this. We'll give it a shot. All right, Big Man. Big Man is a 5-mana 3/3 legendary creature fish. They are Big Man, fun-loving Manta. That's all I could come up with. They have lifelink, okay. Whenever Big Man, fun-loving Manta attacks, create a token that's a copy of target attacking creature. If Big Man dies, you gain 1 life for each creature token you control. What a cool card! And actually just, like, not appropriate, probably. What a cool card, though! You get a token copy of a creature every turn that it attacks. If it attacks, you know, it's vulnerable to removal. right? It has to be attacking. It can't just, like, it's not just every turn at the beginning of combat. So, like, that's a big deal. They don't appear tapped and attacking. So, like, you can only use them the next turn. I don't think this is broken. The question is it appropriate, right? I guess the thing is, yeah, actually it kind of is, right? So what this says to me is, like, it doesn't stop the tokens from being legendary. So you're not making, like, extra copies of your friends Shiver and Frye. That would be kind of weird. But you are making extra copies of, you know, the nameless Splatlings who are going out and doing fights, right? Like, that's maybe... Splatlings. Inklings. Octolings. That's actually maybe appropriate. The idea of saying he rallies people around him with his presence. He totally does. That's Big Man. I don't know why he is lifelink, but it feels appropriate. He's protecting you. He's helping you as the, like, player of the game. And then when he dies, it says if Big Man dies, which is, not the correct, like, that's inappropriately, like, worded. But, like, yeah, okay. And the more people around him when he dies, the more life you gain. I'm actually pretty into it. In fact, that doesn't even need to be tokens you control. But, it's kind of like saying the number of people that he brought to the party or something. Even though they could be other tokens. I like that a lot. I don't believe it, Manta, Manta, Manta. I don't believe it, Manta, Manta, Manta. I like that. That's really cool, actually. Big Man, Fun-Loving Manta is a 5-mana fish. This time they're a 4/4 with Vigilance. Okay. When Big Man, Fun-Loving Manta enters the battlefield, exile all creatures your opponents control. No! Incorrect! What? Not only is this just, like, a ridiculous one-sided board wipe, but it's just not Big Man. I don't see Big Man showing up and being like, I kill everyone my opponent has on their board. Just, like, universally destroy everyone. Like, no, that's not Big Man. His mighty arms once wielded the lethal gear of the deep sea pirates. Now he finds it more of a hindrance than a help. I mean, I think I already found the correct card. I really like the design of the other card. Yeah. I think we already found it. I'm not really concerned with finding a better version of Big Man. I'll roll it another time, though. Big Man, Fun-Loving Manta, 5-mana, white, 2/5 fish. Very small attack, so we'll see what the ability they have to compensate is. Whenever Big Man, Fun-Loving... What? Hello? It's reloading for some reason. I don't know why. I don't know. That other card is gone forever. Let's try again. Big Man, Fun-Loving Manta is a 5-mana 3/4 fish. Big Man, Fun-Loving Manta can't block. Okay. When Big Man, Fun-Loving Manta dies, each opponent loses 1 life and you gain 1 life. That is boring. That is boring. It is boring. It's boring. It's a boring card. Boring, boring, boring. Big Man, Fun-Loving Manta is a 5-mana legendary creature fish. They're a 3/5 with Vigilance, Reach, and creatures you control have Vigilance. That's appropriate. That's a reasonable Big Man. It's both powerful enough that you want to play them, and that's important for legendary creatures that are supposed to be interesting and fun. And it's just like, yeah, you know, they've got a big reach. I think that's appropriate. They're a big man. They got Vigilance. I feel like that's tonally appropriate. And they make your other creatures better and make them more vigilant. Yeah. It's not an interesting card, right? This card is borderline French vanilla. Like, it's such a simple design, but, like, it's good. it's effective and it's appropriate. I like it. I think I still like the other one better, even though I think this card's probably a stronger card. But yeah, no, I like it. It's good. Great. Let's move on to another card. Would you be interested in seeing some like kind of like non-legendary creatures? You know, just an Inkling, an Octoling, someone using the Splatling gun, somebody using a roller. Those are the things that I prepared. And I did actually come up with a list of names that I think are appropriate to do some stuff with that. That all said, I still don't actually have any ideas for what I don't know what their like costs and stuff are. This is why I usually avoid doing the advanced options, is I just don't like writing mana costs. I wish I could just be like, make it this color, but nah, you have to actually put the mana cost in for it to work, so here we are. Inkling Shooter. If I had to define the shooter class, I feel like it's kind of like an all-arounder, right? It's not like super specific in any way. It might even actually be white. It's just kind of a soldiery style gun, right? So that could be. I could see that. Inkling, we know they're a squid. We've already established that. Do they get a subtype, right? They're a person with a gun, but they're not really a soldier. They're not really a warrior. They're not really like a rogue. They don't fall into these normal MTG archetypes because I just don't really think of them as like aggressive warriors. They're playing a game at the end of the day, right? Unless you're doing like Agent 1, Agent 2, Agent 3. Those people could be like soldiers or spies or something, which I guess spy's not a creature type, but you know what I'm saying, like rogues. That could be interesting. But just like a normal Splat, I mean, it's called Splatoon. Presumably everyone is a soldier because you are in a platoon, but like, narratively we know we're not, right? People aren't actually soldiers in this game. At least I wouldn't think of them that way. Even in like Salmon Run, are you really a soldier? Not really. Not really. It's not a war, it's just like a job. Here's a weird question. What is the type line of Blood Artist? They're just a vampire? They're just a vampire. Okay. They're just a vampire. They're just a vampire. Nothing special going on here. They're just a vampire. Like, I don't want to just say they're squid. That feels like it's a disservice to them. But, I mean, it felt that way for Big Man, and I still am really happy with how the cards came out, so maybe I'm stressing about this, and I really shouldn't be. Inkling Shooter is a 2-mana white squid. It's a 1/1 with, when Inkling Shooter enters the battlefield, create a 3/3 blue Inkling creature token with squid. That doesn't make any sense. That doesn't mean anything. What do you do? What? No. First of all, you're making an Inkling creature token, so it's not a squid creature token. And it's with squid. Just with squid. As if it's like a keyword like flying. It's not really appropriate. Let's try that again. Inkling Shooter is a 2-mana 2/2 squid. Okay. Whenever Inkling Shooter attacks, tap target creature defending player controls. Okay, that feels relatively appropriate, right? They're able to get past your defenses, they tap down someone who could potentially have blocked. Yeah, no, I feel like that works. This is actually a pretty cool card. It's nothing special, but I'm not making legendaries anymore. I don't really care if they're special at this point. They just need to be, like, thematically make enough sense. There's a squid somewhere on a given map, and no matter where it is, it will try to bite you. So that's fun. I want to go pretty quickly through these, so I'm not going to spend too much time re-rolling each one. Let's move on to my next one, which is Crab Tank Pilot. Heck yeah, I forgot I wrote this one. Now, I do think that this is a pilot. We know this. Is it a squid? Is it an octopus? I don't know. I'm probably going to end up with more squid cards than octopus cards just because, like, it's a more obvious thing to fill in, but whatever. The question becomes, a crab tank. What color is crab tank? I think crab tanks are pretty big. They're a special after all. Let's make it at least 3, I guess. And 3 generic, I mean. And then we're gonna add a color to it. Not black, maybe red, not blue. Green. They're green. Obviously. Well, the thing is, I mean, it's crab tank. Yeah, but everything is water themed. You can't make everything blue just because it's water themed. That's a fair point. It does feel weird to be like, this is a... I don't know. For some reason, green doesn't feel correct to me here. And I can't really explain why. Honestly, I think it's blue. You know, yeah, when blue gets big enough, personally, I'm the kind of blue player who likes the big ones. I like the giant crab. I like the sea serpent. That's my jam for blue. So even though this might not seem blue to most people, I think it actually is a blue card. It's that, like, big blue kind of thing. Which makes me wonder if it should actually be bigger than 4 mana. I think it's good. I think it should be 5. No, sorry. 5 total. 4 generic. Okay. Great. Let's do this. I did not hit update, sorry. Okay. Crab Tank Pilot is a 5 mana blue squid pilot. They're a 3/4 with flying. Okay, so flying isn't super appropriate. They can't actually fly. But I don't know, maybe it gives you some maneuverability that lets you, like, not be blocked. No, it doesn't work. It doesn't work at all. Even if we ignore the flavor of flying, it doesn't work. I mean, you might have, like, a thing in your face to stop you from dying, but you're not, like, untouchable or anything. People can still shoot you in the crab tank. Otherwise, tap squid target creature you control gains Swamp Walk until end of turn. Woo! So, that's basically saying you pave a path for an ally, which is a cool interpretation of Crab Tank. I'm not super excited about it for a few reasons, just like, I don't really like land-based, I don't like land walk, generally. And it's just also, like, as a whole, the card is a mess. We're rerolling this one. Crab Tank Pilot is a 5 mana 2/4, pretty small. Whenever Crab Tank Pilot becomes blocked, draw a card. That is actually really cool. I quite like this one. Is it appropriate to a Crab Tank? Again, I haven't actually played Splatoon. I don't really know. But the idea of this big thing that just kind of, like, takes hits and kind of wants to be taking hits is cool. Why do you draw a card for tanking a hit? I don't know. It's just like a mechanical incentive to tank and makes the tankiness of the creature more relevant, and I think that's fun. The family behind the Jellyfish Keep adopted the caged crabs of Kamoshida Crater and gave them tanks to protect them from hungry sea serpents. Okay, I don't know what world that flavor text is describing, but I love it. I want somebody making that's such a great, like, writing prompt. That's such a cool writing prompt. Oh, I love that. That's excellent. I want a second tank on Crab Tank, though, because I just think it's interesting and I want to see something else. But, again, we're going to try and move on, not spend too long on these non-legendaries. Crab Tank Pilot is a 5 mana 4/4 squid pilot. When Crab Tank Pilot enters the battlefield, you may return target creature to its owner's hand. 5 mana 4/4 that bounces something? That's pretty good. I don't know if it's appropriate to a Crab Tank, but, like, it's kind of cool. It's kind of cool. Yeah. Alright. I would follow them anywhere, especially if it meant my career as a smuggler was over. Mayu said that. Well, as I said, I don't want to spend too much time on these, so even though I wish I saw something that's, like, really, like, jumped out to me as, like, oh, that's the perfect Crab Tank, we gotta keep going. So, we're gonna now switch over to, I think, a roller. The next one on my list is the Octoling Roller, which I imagine is what you call somebody who uses a roller weapon. Octoling Roller. Rollers, to me, are actually pretty green. I think rollers are green. They feel like a green weapon to me. So, I'm gonna say... They feel like a green weapon to me. So, I'm gonna say... Probably like 2 and a green. 2 and a green sounds pretty reasonable. They are an octoling, so they're an octopus. And again, is there a secondary typing there? I don't know. Like, they're not really soldiers, they're not really warriors. A roller isn't like a weapon in the like obvious sense, right? Like when we get to Splatanas, I might make them samurai or ninjas or something, but like it's a giant paint roller. Like if painter was a type, then we could do that, but it's not. So I don't know what to tell you about that one. Let's take a look at what we can do here. Octoling Roller is a 3-mana 2/2 octopus. Whenever Octoling Roller becomes blocked, it gets +2/+2 until end of turn. Okay, that I actually kind of like this. That's pretty cool, right? It's like if you try and block this, you're gonna get bowled over, which is kind of cool, right? If you get right up in their face, you gotta take them out from afar. If you get right up in their face, you're gonna get hurt. Yeah, no, I like it. I think that totally checks out. It's not like maybe the most interesting version of this card it could possibly be, but it's cool. I'm gonna roll it one more time, see what else we have available. Every drop of ink is a pearl. Anubis said that. Octoling Roller is a 3-mana octopus. Again, I'm getting way too much like just straight up an octopus because I don't really have a good typing to redirect the art, but oh well. It's a 2/3. Whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell, put a 1/1 counter on Octoling Roller. Okay. The flavor text is, it's simple. And like, yeah, that's a cool card. It's quite a powerful card too. It's just like, is that a roller? Maybe. Like rollers are, I could see them as like maybe building up momentum and getting stronger and stronger and stronger. I don't think that's really appropriate to rollers, but like conceptually I could see that being like a mechanic. But like, why is it instances sorceries, right? I kind of like the idea of it being something like, whenever it attacks, put a 1/1 counter on it. And so, like, for every turn, it, like, remains... like, it needs to be attacking, but every turn it remains unblocked or, like, not killed. It gets bigger and bigger and bigger. That would be really fun. So, I can see something like that working, but whatever. We're moving on. What is next? The next one is the Inkling Splat Sniper. I don't know if that's an appropriate name or not, but that's what I'm going with. Now, again, not actually an archer. Like, previously, I think all the snipers in Magic are archers, but this one's not. Because, you know, it's not an archer. This is supposed to be somebody using a charger. That's the plan, right? Oh yeah, there's the sniper. This one's just a goblin. This guy's just a goblin. But yeah, archer, archer, rogue, okay, archer, 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 archer. So, mostly archers. But we're not doing archer. And the question though is, what is the typing of this? I think this might be black. Is it black? No. It could be green. It could be green just because it's like, it's got that archer energy to it. I am honestly worried that I'm not gonna like have any black creatures in this set. Like, other than Shiver. We've already done Shiver, but like, yeah, I don't know. There's this element of like, what does that look like in Splatoon? I have no idea. But that's kind of okay. This is Universes Beyond. This is not a full set. This is just like a few cards, right? So that's okay. We can do with that as we please. I think that the Charger probably needs to be like either a bit bigger or a bit smaller. It might be a small thing that ramps up, or it might be like a larger thing that you play once you've already ramped up, right? I think it's one of those like smallish greens, but smallish greens tend to be like, I think I'm going to make this green-red. I don't have a good reason for you. I don't have a good reason. I'm going to make it red-green. I don't have a good reason. So that's a squid. And I think it's just a squid. Once again, it's just a squid. I think that if you were going to do this, you'd probably invent a new type, which would be a little bit frustrating because it would kind of diversify your typings. But having a new type in addition to an existing type is just better than having only an existing type, right? If you have a new type instead of an existing type, that could be problematic. That could be like, this card's weaker than it would have been, because if it was like a human, it would be better, blah, 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 blah. But just adding an extra type that doesn't have any support, it means in the future it could have support. So probably I should have added a custom subtype. I just avoid custom subtypes when I do my designs, usually. So figured I'd do the same thing with AI. What did I make again? I've completely forgot. Inkling Splat Sniper is a red-green squid. They have Splat ability, which says, you may cast this spell for its Splat ability, which is 1 red. If you do, it's sacrificed when it enters the battlefield. It's got Evoke! What? They also have Splat, which says you may cast this spell for its Splat ability. Wait, no, that's not right. If you do, it's... What? The squids are happy to sit on the piers, but only so long as they are protected from the oncoming waves of seaweed. I don't know what to say about that. Let's re-roll this. Inkling Splat Sniper is a red-green squid. It's a 2/1 with trample and haste. I don't think that's appropriate. This is supposed to be a charger, which obviously isn't a name. The AI doesn't know it's supposed to be a charger, but still. As Inkling Splat Sniper enters the battlefield, choose target creature an opponent controls. That creature gains, when this creature dies, return target creature card from your graveyard to your hand. What the heck is this? The design of this card's actually pretty cool. It's got trample, it's got haste, it's a 2/1 for 2. And it has like a downside of that creature gains when this creature dies, return target creature card from the graveyard to your hand. Like, that creature has it. If it's text on a creature, then it's about who controls that creature gets the effect, right? She must live, or he will surely die. I don't know what to make of this card, honestly. Let's do another. Inkling Splat Sniper. For red and green, you get a 3/3 with trample and haste. This is just better. It's just better and no more appropriate. When Inkling Splat Sniper enters the battlefield, look at the top 4 cards of your library. You may reveal an instant or sorcery card from among them and put it into your hand. Put the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order. So, not only does it have trample, it have haste, is a 3/3 for only 2. Also, ETB, draw an instant or sorcery card from the top 4 cards of your deck. This is very strong and probably not super appropriate to being a Splat Sniper. I do kind of like the idea that the Splat Sniper, like, finds you an instant or sorcery, though. Because I kind of think that's appropriate. Like, you know, like Splat... like charged splat shot or something could be an instant. I could see that being a thing. So that could be kind of fun. I think that's relatively appropriate. But trample and haste on my charger feels incorrect. I'm gonna do one more, but I kind of do want to do that like ink splat shot, charged splat shot or something. Inkling Splat Sniper is a green and a red for a 1/1. It has flying, which honestly, flying kind of makes sense. They're up high, right? Like, the sniper climbed to the top of the building and is sniping you from the top of the building. It effectively has flying at that point. I actually kind of like that. And you can spend 2 to give it +2/+2 until end of turn. You know what? I like it. I actually like this. It's got a charge up. You invest mana into it. It has flying because it's up in a sniper nest. Yes, this is the version of the card I wanted to see. I love this. Splat fields have an easy time capturing sneaky sneaks. That's the one. That's the one right there. We did it. Okay, moving on. Let's actually do a quick instant. Let's take a break from creatures. Everybody wants to make creatures. Creatures are everyone's favorite. But like, what if we have charged splat shot? What if that's a thing that we do instead? Charged splat shot. Here's the question: is charged splat shot an instant or a sorcery? It's charged. I don't know. Also, what color is... I think it's red. I think it's a red spell. I think this is kind of like our lightning bolt. So I'm just going to make it a... let's make it 2 in a red. 2 in a red. Update that. Let's take a look. Oops, too far. Alright. We got an instant. Did I remember to change it to an instant? You did. Yeah, you did. Okay. Charged Splat Shot is a 3-mana red instant. Charged Splat Shot deals 3 damage to target creature and 2 damage to target player or planeswalker. Okay. Not the most interesting card, but like, sure. Yeah. I like that it can't do damage to a player unless there is a creature to shoot. I feel like that's appropriate. Are you prepared to die for your ink? Good. Because we're going to need you to do that. Misumi, sub-leader of the Torrent Squad. Yeah! It's the Torrent Squad! Let's do a second opinion on this card, but I think it's pretty decent. Charged Splat Shot is a 3-mana instant. Charged Splat Shot deals 2 damage to target creature and 2 damage to that creature's controller. That I think is more appropriate than and 2 damage to target player or planeswalker. Then again, the version that we made first is got better art for one thing, but also it does 3 damage instead of 2. Splat a horde of runners to stop a gate from closing. Cool. All right, let's move on. The next one I have in here is the Ink Slosher Octoling. Let's do an Ink Slosher Octoling. First thing, I need to add the subtype line back in. That's important. And it's an octopus. And a slosher is just like a big bucket that you throw ink with. So, like... Again, I can't think of an appropriate subtype. So, there's that. But I will say, what is a slosher good for? It's, like, good for, like... covering like a large area, just like big splat, like a big... it makes me think of like artillery in a way. So I'm thinking maybe red in a weird way. Like red is defined by hasty, fast, aggressive, but I think it also is defined by kind of like explosions and stuff, right? Like that feels kind of appropriate. I'm not sure. I'm really not sure. Let's make it black. Why not? I don't know. I don't have a great idea about the different things. Yeah, 2 in a black seems fine. I'm just gonna make it 2 in a black. Why is it black? I don't have a good reason. Don't ask me. Don't ask me, I don't know. Alright, Ink Slosher Octoling. I don't know why it's black. That's fine. 3-mana Octopus. It's a 2/2 with 2 mana, Ink Slosher Octoling. It gets +2/+2 until end of turn. Activate only once each turn. Wow, that's horrible. That's really bad. That is just a terrible card. Once the world becomes too hot to touch, the creatures will make do with sloshing around in water. I mean, yeah, that's a yeah, no, you're not wrong. You're not wrong about that one. Can't argue with that. Ink Slosher Octoling is a 3-mana octopus. It is just a 3/3 vanilla. They bring great distress to anyone they meet. And with ink-spewing brutes like these around, there's little time for second thoughts. I don't I mean, obviously I'm going to re-roll a 3-mana 3/3 vanilla. I am not saying that vanilla cards can't, like, be decent and be playable, but I don't think this card is. Ink Slosher Octoling is a 3-mana octopus. It's a 2/2. When Ink Slosher Octoling enters the battlefield, it fights up to 1 target creature you don't control. That is, like, not generally an appropriate, like, black effect. Like, that's a green mechanic, but I kind of like it. It's too small. If this was like a 2/3 or a 2/4, this would be pretty cool. But right now, it's just kind of like, it shows up, and it fights something, and it probably dies in the process, so it's kind of like a 3-mana do 2 damage, and it's like, I'm in black, I might as well just have casted Murder at that point, right? Like, I don't know. I don't know. Hatred isn't exactly a healthy response. Let's try that one again, see if we can do better. Ink Slosher Octoling is a 3-mana octopus. It's a 3/1, okay. When it enters the battlefield, each opponent may sacrifice a creature. They have the option. They have the option of sacrificing a creature. I don't think that's relevant here. This card maybe never should have been black. Yeah. It thinks of nothing but wiping away its prey. It's as lethal as you, as it is the zebra it was hatched from. I'm not gonna question that. I mean, what's a slosher defined by? Doing lots of hits, big explosions. Yeah, I think it should just be like, maybe it's red-black? Maybe it's a dual color card? That would be more appropriate than... I did not expect it to choose that art. Whenever Ink Slosher Octoling blocks or becomes blocked by a creature, Ink Slosher Octoling gets +1/+1 until end of turn. Boring. I am changing this. I am changing this to be... I'm gonna keep it as 2. I want it to be kind of big, I think. And we're gonna make it black-red. We're gonna make it black-red. Should it be? I don't know. That's what we're gonna do. We're gonna give this one a second shot. Ink Slosher Octoling is a 4-mana black-red octopus 2/3. Whenever Ink Slosher Octoling blocks or becomes blocked by a non-octopus creature, ooh, interesting, Ink Slosher Octoling deals 2 damage to that creature. Now that's an interesting effect. When it blocks, it punches them for 2, which is pretty cool. They could die before they deal combat damage. It's kind of like a first strike effect. And when they block, same thing. So, it's like, yeah. I quite like this. I quite like that. I don't even see a reason to reroll that. And also, I really should stop wasting time rerolling cards that we already have a reasonable version of. So let's move on. Hydra Splatling Gunner! Yeah! The Hydra Splatling Gunner. Let's go. I'm not sure how I feel about this advanced forging, show that I'm planning on doing. Because, like, it's a cool idea, but I miss, like, seeing the, like, weird things that the AI comes up with if I just put in the name Hydra Splatling Gunner, you know? What about Red? That sounds fun. This could be an octopus again. I'm gonna make it a squid, I think, though. Squid. They're not a soldier. I think that's about right. Hydra Splatling Gunner is for 2 and 2 red. We got a 3/4. It's a squid. And at the beginning of your end step, you may have Hydra Splatling Gunner assign its combat damage as though it weren't blocked. That doesn't make sense. Nope, not an appropriate card. So, I'm not sure how I feel about the advanced forging as a concept for the show. I think I'm actually more interested in just putting in the name and sort of seeing what happens. Yeah, I won't be able to specify the creature type, so it's kind of a shame. But, I don't know. Still kind of cool. Hydra Splatling Gunner for 2 red is a 3/3 squid. Whenever Hydra Splatling Gunner attacks, it gets plus X+0, where X is the number of attacking creatures you control. I love it. I think that's actually really clean. That feels very Splatling Gunner. Okay. And with that disappointing end, that's the end of the show. That's all the time we have for today. This has been the inaugural episode of Advanced Forging. I hope to do more of this in the future. It's a different format. I don't really know how I feel about it yet. It's not my strongest suit, to be honest. But I do love the idea of coming up with wacky cards based around very sort of strict conditions for the AI. Obviously, this isn't like a new idea. People have done this before. There's Pokemon ones that are out there. There's all sorts of things. But, you know, it's another avenue for the show. If you're new to the show, I make videos about AI-generated magic all the time, every week, usually 2. And you can check out my backlog. There's some really cool stuff there, both gameplay and discussion like this. And this is a new show format idea. Let me know if it feels like something you'd want to see more of. And if you have ideas for other universes beyond that we could give this treatment to, let me know in the comments. With that, I'll leave you. I've been DarcyBits. Have a great night. Well, This is going to be a very weird thing to have on screen during that outro if I choose to cut the portion that preceded it.